Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder Path Trading Partners along with Bob Iacino. So push higher, dramatic push higher. By the way, I took off a couple of the minor levels that just blew through. So if you go back to yesterday's video and you see a couple levels missing, we just skyrocketed through them. So I was trying to simplify the chart. They were just lower levels on this little Gann swing, so that's why they are missing. Was just trying to clear up the chart so we could actually look at what happened. So big move up. We had 10,186 spiking through that, but then closing just slightly above. I think it closed at 10,191. Trading back to our prior Gann level, then you see it caught between these two levels, running up there, hitting that level again, then plummeting back down. So actually falling through the rotation zone, falling through all this prior, so it blew through all this prior resistance, running up, and then couldn't turn that resistance into support, and actually this big sell-off, that came with a lot of volume. So there is still a ton of selling pressure up there. I'm just going to raise this up here, and I'm going to just take a look at the most recent swing to see this. The most recent swing based off this sell-off. We're keeping these other ones still in place from this prior key major swing high because we haven't even hit the 12.5% extension yet. What does that give us? If we get back above this 10,350 area, we're looking for about 10,540 to 10,560. So I'm going to be watching about 10,550 right in the middle. 10,779 to 10,856 is the next key cluster up there, but we'll have to fine tune it should we rally back up there again. We've already traded back below the rotation zone. As I've stated, we came back down spiking just above the 200, and if you looked here, this is where you line up the candle bodies as we've been talking about. So we have this nice little shelf of candle bodies, so look where it spiked down to. So you have the vicinity, and we're not looking for an exact target. We're looking for a vicinity where we might react. We reacted and closed just below the 50. So right now, I'm going to jump out to the daily first off because you can see when we're still a lot of selling pressure everywhere. I mean, anywhere from about 9,900 to above 10,000. Whenever it gets above there, there's selling pressure still coming in. That is a very key area. We've been having resistance at that area for quite some time. So you see back here, February, had trouble getting above there, sold off. Back last October, trouble getting above there, sold off. We briefly got back up above there in June for a bit, but then we fell back down into August and then leading to all this resistance. So you can see that there is a ton of selling pressure recently whenever it tries to pop above this 10,000 level. Just keep that in mind. Well, I was at the weekly chart. You see we got some separation in the rotation zone. So we're going to see, key support based off the weekly is about 8,700. So that's the very key support area you'll be watching. You can see with all those candle bodies lining up that that's a great area if we do pull back for major support. But let's look at the closer levels right now. You can see here, even though the rotation zone's flat, we start getting some separation. We spike down to the bottom of it. You can see this little prior support ledge. We're back above that. So that's the area I'm going to be watching for today's closing basis is about 94.20. Closing below that takes us back into more of a consolidation mode. Closing above that, we're still back in the consolidation range, but I will still be watching for then resistance up around 9,800 and then returning to 10,000, about 10,030, and then about 10,100. If we do sell off again, next area, this is a very key close lining up with these two candles right here. So I'm going to be looking about 87.30 for the key area if we do continue a pullback. Ethereum also running up just shy of our next level, coming up here, and then also huge selling pressure coming in, dropping below the rotation zone, spiking all the way down to the 50. So again, that is a pretty bearish move. We're still getting selling pressure coming in. I just think that was, we've broken above the key major resistance recently in Ethereum, and then it just hit in running into all that major selling pressure. So you get some of these things out of the way so we can actually see what's going on here. All right. We see spiking back down just into the rotation zone and then holding up there. So the key support area we'll be watching is right around this 228 area. If we drop below there, then we'll go watch back to about the 215 area in the bottom of the daily rotation zone. Levels higher, I'm going to take this. We're still working on the most recent swing off this one and some of the prior levels. And we stalled out at that prior 12.5% level. I'm going to take off a couple of these other areas right now just to clean up the chart. So if we rotate back up above 253, we're looking for 260 as the next cluster area, then 267. Those are the two key areas for Ethereum. I'm really going to watch where today closes. Again, above this rotation zone, keeps it in bullish mode. Into the rotation zone, we'll start watching for the slightly bigger pullback. That's what we have for you on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye for now.